This hour of the Dave Ramsey Show is brought to you by our Real Estate ELP program. If you're in the market to buy or sell a house, look no further than the agents I trust to put your needs first. Find your endorsed local provider at daveramsey.com/try-an-ELP. From the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's the Dave Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. This is your show. Thank you for joining us. It's your show because we talk about you. This is a show that's here to serve you. Open phones at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. You jump in and we will talk. Katie starts off this hour in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Hi, Katie. How are you?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Well, my husband and I kind of have a question. We have been trying to sell our home for about 7 to 8 months. We have a 19-month-old daughter who we've been living with epilepsy for about a year. Medication is not controlling her condition, so I anticipate I will have to quit my job at some point to take care of her. My mom's been taking care of her, but it's a big job. But our house is just not selling, and I didn't know what we should do. I'm pretty sure we're going to have to probably take a hit on it, and I didn't know where we should go from here.
How much do you owe on it?
We owe $324.
Okay. And what's it on the market for?
$335.
Okay.
And we've had more people in the past. We've tried to sell it in the past just because of job situation. I was changing jobs. But nobody's even made any offers. I mean, nobody has anything negative to say, but no offer. We've never gotten an offer.
What does your realtor say the reason is?
Well, it's a little bit bigger home. It's out in the country.
That's what your realtor says?
Well, let's say it this way. I don't know that I necessarily got a straight answer.
Okay, then you don't have a good realtor. Okay.
Okay.
Have you used one of our endorsed local providers to try to sell the house?
Yes. And
they're not giving you a straight answer on why it's not selling?
Well, I don't necessarily think that they know. I think that, it's out in the country. The neighborhood that we live in, there is a lot of new homes being bought, so people are moving there.
At what price range?
About the same.
Okay. So you're a used house trying to compete with new houses at the same price?
Yes, sir.
Well, you're not going to be able to do that. You're overpriced.
Right.
I can do that from here. I don't even have to be your realtor. Just think like Joe and Susie. You walk in the neighborhood, I can buy a brand new house and pick my colors for $335,000, or I can buy your used house with your colors for $335,000. I'll take the new one. I'll take the new one.
Well, sure.
Which, by the way, usually is more expensive than used housing, so you're overpriced.
Okay. Well, how do we deal with
the negative?
Yes.
And how's your credit?
We've never paid a bill late in our lives.
Okay. So you're probably going to end up borrowing some money to get out of this mess.
Yes, sir.
And I'm assuming if you quit, you simply can't afford the house, right?
It would be razor thin. I mean, I think we could do it for a while.
How much is the house payment?
$2,050.
What's your husband's take-home pay a month?
About $70. Oh, a month. Oh, I got my list.
You said his take-home pay is $70 a year?
No. Oh, he makes $75 a year.
Okay. Do you know his take-home pay?
Yeah. Let me see. I'd have to do some quick math.
Okay.
About four. It would be maybe
about $5,000 a month.
Yeah, that's yeah.
You're okay. I mean, you can make it on that. I don't know that you have to panic.
Okay.
Do you dislike the house?
No, I don't dislike it.
Why have you had it on the market?
Well, because I was anticipating having to take care of her. And in the past, I'm an attorney. The job where I was more of an elected position.
Yeah, but I mean, if I just look at his take-home pay, you guys can make it. Do you have a bunch of other debt?
No, sir. Well, my student loans, which that was the downhill slide to where we were until all this happened. Mm-hmm. I only have about $45,000 left on my student loans to pay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, but that's it. Our cars are paid for. Everything.
I think you tighten up your budget. You sell some other stuff, and you live on nothing, and you don't have much of a life, and you come home and take care of your baby. I don't think you can afford to take a $20,000 hit here. And I'm going to try to hold on to the house first.
Okay.
On his income. And I think you can.
Okay.
I mean, he's got to take home pay of $5,000, a $2,000 payment. It's high, like you said, but you don't have a lot of other debts. You guys need to get on a written budget in detail, and you're going to have to cut a bunch of other crap out of your life. I mean, you coming home means you're not going to restaurants.
Yeah.
You coming home means you're not buying clothes you used to buy. You coming home means you're not vacating where you used to vacate.
Okay.
But you're coming home.
Yes.
Then that's what matters in this discussion. And then, a couple years from now, if that house has built a little bit of equity and you guys just don't think it's worth the strain and his income hasn't gone up, then maybe you get it sold and you don't have to write a check. But right now, writing a $20,000 check in addition to your $45,000 worth of student loans, I think I'm going to make it up in other places. I'm going to cut lifestyle and make this happen. I think you can do it. I think you're right. I think it's razor thin, but that just means you're going to have to say no to a whole lot of stuff because you're saying yes to being home with this baby. And I don't blame you. I think it's a good move, but you're going to have no life except a house and a baby, and that's it. And that's what you're going to concentrate on. There's not going to be a lot of room for anything else. And then you guys begin to continue to chip away at those student loans. So, hey, good question. Appreciate you joining us. Brian is with us in Peoria, Illinois. Hey, Brian, how are you?
Hey, Dave. I'm so happy to talk with you, man.
You too. What's up?
Okay, so long story short, I'm a disabled veteran, and my family and I are currently on baby step 3 after a long and bumpy road.
Okay.
At the first step of baby step 2 increased our income substantially. I got a good full-time job, and I started a part-time business that's doing very well.
Good for you.
We've been wound up so tight, though, over the past few years financially. Kind of curious, when is it okay for us to pull the throttle back? And on the other hand, the part-time business takes up most of my weekends, but I love doing it, and I would want to make that my full-time job. But I guess we're both a little cautious and not sure how or if we can make that move.
Well, it's very wise to be cautious. Once you break through baby step 3, you let the throttle back. Okay? So you got your emergency fund and you're debt-free, everything but the house. That's a pretty solid place to stand. Now, what is her income?
She's a stay-at-home mother.
Okay. And what is your disability income?
My disability is $30,000 a year.
Okay. And what do you make on your regular job?
$44,000.
And what do you make on the weekends?
On the weekends, it's growing up to, I'm projecting about $30,000 to $35,000, but I can't grow it unless I put any more time into it.
Can you live on $65,000?
I believe we could.
Now, you can't believe it. You got to write it out on a budget.
I'll write it out.
Because you got $30,000 and $35,000 from the weekend. If you drop the $44,000 and you can live on the $65,000, then you can do it. But if you're not quite ready, then you got to get that business built up a little bit bigger before you can quit. You got to get it to where you can make your ends meet when you quit, not just hope you can because they got more time. Selling your home can be stressful, especially if you don't know the keys to getting it sold quickly and for top dollar. The free real estate guides on DaveRamsey.com/guides will help you take the stress out of your home sale. Go to DaveRamsey.com/guides or text "right listing" to 44222 to download our free home selling guides. Right listing, one word, no spaces, to 44222. Get started on a smart selling strategy for your home. Welcome back to the Dave Ramsey Show, where we teach you common sense for your dollars and cents, teaching you to live on less than you make, a concept Congress can't grasp. Thanks for joining us, America. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Open phones this hour at 888-825-5225. We're so glad you're with us. Thanks for hanging out. And thank you to all of you across America for your unbelievable support of this whole business boutique movement. Christy Wright, the creator of Business Boutique, is on book tour, out running around all over America, selling these books and helping these ladies. And just a woman's guide for making money doing what she loves. The Business Boutique book is an unparalleled success. It has blown up. It is going to be an absolutely huge book. I thought it was going to be, because we knew the movement was large. We knew the ladies coming out to these events that we're doing all over America were excited. They were fired up. They're into this. It's pretty cool stuff. And, of course, it has been an exciting week, starting off with New York, of course, and then Atlanta with the book signing there and the Business Boutique one-day event there, the huge event in Nashville at the factory. All of you that came out to that and got the free stuff and got your book signed and everything, absolutely incredible event. And this whole idea of ladies, there's so many of you out there, and so many of you know a lady that has incredible ability, incredible marketplace prowess, and sometimes she doesn't even know she does. Guys are the same way. But ladies, it's a unique thing to for someone that believes in a lady, whether it's a guy in her life or her mom or her sister, to look at her and say, you should really turn that into a business. You should really do this. And how are you going to do it? Well, the Business Boutique process is the process for doing that. And people are really excited that women are stepping into their God-given gifts and they're making money doing what they love. And maybe it's your turn, or maybe it's someone that it's their turn. And Christy Wright has been teaching these events. I've taught some of them with her, these one-day events. We just had the one day there in Atlanta. And thank you for coming out to all of these things and to the book signings. Now, just to recall what's happening, each time that Christy is doing a book signing for Business Boutique in the coming weeks, there's going to be a $1,000 giveaway, a $1,000 giveaway. And you do not want to miss that. No purchase is necessary, must be present to win. So come out to the book signing. It's a big party, to say the least, and a lot of fun stuff going on. Make yourself plugged into that. Tomorrow we will be in San Antonio doing the SMART Conference. And, of course, that is a sold-out event, and that'll be with Christy and Rachel Cruz and me and Chris Hogan and the whole gang. It's going to be an incredible day. These day-long SMART conferences are just fun to do. Dr. McMeeker there, of course, on parenting. Dr. Les Parrott will be with us. Absolutely incredible on marriage. You just don't want to miss these SMART conferences. They are absolutely life-changing. I mean, it's one day can change everything. And, of course, a sold-out event there, and a sold-out event for next Saturday in Phoenix, the same drill there. So thank you guys for coming out to those and for the huge turnout on this. We just really appreciate it. Now, a couple of notes about some book signings that are going on. While we are in San Antonio to do the event, tonight, Friday the 21st, you are going to have the opportunity to go to a book signing with Rachel Cruz. Now, Christy's not available tonight, but Rachel Cruz will be doing a book signing there in San Antonio at 6 p.m. at the Barnes & Noble on La Cantera Parkway. Rachel Cruz signing her #1 best-selling book, Love Your Life, Not Theirs, The 7 Money Habits that you need to be able to change your life. You got to check it out. And so Friday night, Rachel is signing at Barnes & Noble on La Cantera Parkway. Come out 6 p.m. tonight. Don't miss that. Tomorrow's the sold-out event at the Smart Conference. Don't miss that. And then Christy's book tour continues with the Texas Swing. And Monday, April the 24th, is the Barnes & Noble in Austin, Texas. And that's the one, 6 p.m. On Highway 183. Again, a $1,000 giveaway. Don't miss that. Christy's going to be out there. All kinds of stuff. It's a big crowd always, so get there a little early. Must be present to win. No purchase necessary. Houston, Texas. The book's $1 million at 6 p.m. on Katie Mills Circle. Christy will be there on Tuesday night. So Monday night is Austin, Texas, Barnes & Noble Homestead Shopping Center. Tuesday night is the book's $1 million at Katie Mills and in Houston. And then guess what? Wednesday is, of course, going to be Dallas. And she'll be signing books there, Dallas, on Wednesday evening, 6 p.m., Barnes & Noble, Northwest Highway. Don't miss that one. And it continues. Colorado Springs, Thursday of next week. 1 week from today, Phoenix, the Barnes & Noble there. And book signing there. So Colorado Springs is Barnes & Noble, 6 p.m. Thursday next Friday, a week from today, is Phoenix, and then they'll head over to Los Angeles for you folks in California. So we'll keep you abreast of everything that's going on with the tour and everything that's happening. But just be rest assured that this is important. And you can get the Business Boutique book anywhere that fine books are sold. And that would certainly include businessboutique.com, daveramsey.com, and so forth. So go to daveramsey.com, you buy the book. Right now, we are going to throw in the video, her PDF video, free marketing basics that you can't afford to miss. And that video, we're going to throw it in. That's a $20 value when you buy a book right now at daveramsey.com. So go get Christy's book, Business Boutique, and then get the free marketing basics you can't afford to miss video. That's a total of a $40 value for $20. You get both. In other words, you don't want to miss out on that if you want to do it that way. But swing by a bookstore. You can find the books there for sale. Swing by one of these events that we're doing all over the place. You can participate in those. It's just an opportunity to stop and say what really matters. And anyone stepping into their God-given gift and turning it into a business today in America is a wonderful thing. Entrepreneurship is exploding. But one of the things we've observed, Christy's seen it, I've seen it here on the radio show, is the number of ladies, many of them more educated than their husbands, many of them more ambitious than their husbands, many of them more capable than their husbands, or as, in either case. It's not a put down of the guys. It's not we don't have to lift the ladies. We don't have to put down the guys. That's not the point. But the point is that there's a lot of you that have a lot of economic potential that is kind of resting, bottled up, not being what it could be if you wanted it to be. Now, not everybody needs to go start a business. But some of you ladies just need somebody to go, you know what? You can do this. You got this. You can do this. And there's never been a better time to start a business in the history of the world than right now. With technology the way it is, the ease of entry into almost any space inside the business world is the best and the easiest it's ever been, and the cheapest it's ever been. So you can open an eBay store, an Etsy store. You can put stuff on Craigslist. You can start a Twitter account, an Instagram account, a YouTube channel. You can start a Facebook page, and none of that costs you a dime. Isn't that amazing? I mean, there's no other time. I mean, when I started, I used to have to run ads, and we had these things called newspapers. And we had to pay money to pay for a classified ad in the newspaper. Anybody remember that? And we bought ads in a thing called the Yellow Pages. Anybody remember that? Yeah. Those are all gone, aren't they? See, this is the best time ever, ladies. This is your time right now. You don't want to miss it. So check out the book, Business Boutique, A Woman's Guide for Making Money, Doing What She Loves. Man, I'm so excited about this. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
Replacing lost items not only costs you time, but it could cost you a whole lot of money. That's why you need Tracker. Tracker is a coin-sized device that locates misplaced keys, wallets, bags, computers, anything in seconds. Just pair your Tracker device to your smartphone, attach it to anything, and find its location with a tap of a button. It's that easy. So stop losing your stuff today. Go to thetracker.com, enter promo code TRACK, and you'll get a free Tracker Bravo with any order. Thetracker.com, promo code TRACK.
Redecorating your entire home can cost thousands of dollars, but one way to give a room a facelift for a lot less is with brand new custom blinds from my buddies over at Blinds.com. They have over 100 design experts in-house that are happy to answer any question, and you can reach them on the phone, online, or through a free live video consult. As always, you get free color samples and shipping at Blinds.com. Today's question comes from Jennifer in Tennessee. She visits DaveRamsey.com to ask, my husband is considering cashing out his IRA to invest in gold. How do I explain to him that this is a bad idea? Well, it's fairly easy to do a little bit of online research and look at the long-term track record of gold. The long-term track record of gold is absolutely horrendous. It's a disaster. And the way you decide what to invest in, the way you decide when you get ready to buy a home, and you say, do I buy a home in this neighborhood or that neighborhood? Well, you look at the track record of that neighborhood. If it's a brand new neighborhood, you look at the track record of the city moving in that direction, the town, the village, how's it feel in that area, what's the movement, and therefore is this area getting better or getting worse? And you use the past extrapolated into the future. That's how you analyze an investment. And so when people say stuff like, past performance is no indication of future results, that's a bunch of crap. Of course past performance is an indication of future results. I mean, if what if I had an employee working here, a team member working here that was doing a really bad job, and I said, look, you need to change your ways because, your future doesn't look real bright based on the way you've been doing things. If he looked at me and said, past performance is not an indication of future results, I would say, you dadgum better hope so. Really. But, if you got two team members you're looking at, and one of them's been killing it, one of them hasn't, and you're deciding who to promote, you promote killer, right? Because past performance is an indication of future results. If a neighborhood you live in has been going up in value for 20 years, past performance is an indication of future results. That's absolutely ridiculous. And all that is the federal government has gotten involved, and they're so scared that some one of you are not going to use your own freaking brain to make an investment decision. And so they put all these ridiculous disclaimers on things. Well, gold, past performance, is an indicator of future results. Number one, if you were to plot the gold out for the last 50 years, it has an average annual rate of return of around 2%. It sucks. Number two, if you were to plot the performance of gold out, you would see it going up and down dramatically. Lots more volatile than the stock market. If you were to plot oil, barrels of oil out, you would see it going up and down. Way more volatile than the stock market. Way more volatile than the home you put money into. And when you see, if you're plotting points on a graph and you see lots of graph, it looks like somebody's having a heart attack. The lines shoot up, the lines shoot down, the lines shoot up, the lines shoot down. That's an indication this thing's going crazy. It's volatile. That's risk. Danger, danger, danger. Versus a real smooth wave, that's not a danger. It's an indicator, less risk. It's not as volatile, not as crazy. And so when you look at these plotted points, that's what you're looking for. Gold is crazy. It's stupid to invest in gold. I don't own any gold except a couple, a nice gold watch. That's all I got. That's it. I don't own any gold at all, nor will I start buying gold. Oh, well, if the economy fails, we'll start using gold. Bull. When? Not since the Roman Empire as a failed economy recovered on gold. What happens is a new government, if the economy fails, the government fails, a new government issues new paper money that other people believe they can take in trade for stuff, and suddenly the old paper money is worthless. Give you an example. Iraq, a war-torn country, Iraq. I had a Green Beret friend of mine drop off some dollar bill looking things, some paper money with Saddam Hussein's face on them. You know what that paper money's worth? Nothing. So when they killed Saddam Hussein and took the country over, that government was completely removed. A new government comes in. Did people walk around the streets with bars of gold or bags of gold to buy food? No. They immediately issued a new currency. And that currency is as trustworthy as that government is. Well, I don't trust our government. Our currency isn't trustworthy. The dollar, you just don't know what the dollar is going to do. People have been saying that for like 200 freaking years. So I don't know that the dollar is going to last forever and that the U.S. government is going to last forever. But if they don't, gold is not going to be your answer anyway. So no, don't invest in gold. That's what you tell your husband. All you got to do is just do a little bit of reading about it. And this idea that it's what we fall back on if the economy fails is absolutely ludicrous. It's just ludicrous. It's not what we fall back on. Gold does not have any more value than green paper has. There's no intrinsic value to gold. It's not automatically valuable. Things are only valuable to the extent that someone will accept it in trade for something else. If they'll accept little green pieces of paper with presidents' faces on them, it has value. If they won't accept those little green pieces of paper, then it doesn't have value. Or if they want more of those little green pieces of paper, then it has less value, right? It's pretty simple. And gold is the same way. It's a shiny gold-colored rock. It has no automatic value. The only value it has is if someone else will accept it in trade. Is it more widely accepted than little green pieces of paper with presidents' faces on them? Maybe slightly. But definitely is not a medium of exchange. You can't go down to Publix and buy groceries with it. Try slipping in there with a gold bar and see how that works for you. It won't run through the scanner. You know, beep, didn't work, you know. Did your price check on 4? It would be bad, you know. So it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And so the only thing that drives the price of gold up is fear and greed. The only thing that drives it down is when there's less fear and greed. So when the economy is booming, gold goes way down because everybody thinks we're going to be okay. When things are really bad and we don't trust the president, woo, we don't trust Congress, we don't trust anyone, God help us. We're in Gotham, you know. Then if that happens, then you're going to have a mess on your hands. And, you know, if you start thinking that way, then, yeah, you'll see gold go up. That's what's going to happen. So, oh, my gosh. Open phones at 888-825-5225. You jump in. We'll talk about your life and your money. Brad's on Twitter. Can you be too young to invest in a Roth IRA? If not, how much should I contribute annually? You can't be too young. You can't do mutual funds until you're 21. But if you're a child, if you're 8 years old, your parents can open a Roth IRA, but you have to have an earned income. And so if you don't have an earned income and haven't filed a tax return on your earned income, then you can't put money into a Roth. Roth IRA is only earned income. Now, can an 8-year-old have an earned income? Sure. Actually, had a friend of mine, his kid did his little baby did some modeling. The kid got paid $2,000. Kid's 6 months old. Little diaper modeling, right? Or whatever you call it, right? So he took the $2,000, popped it into a Roth IRA, filed a tax return on it, and no taxes on it at that amount of money with that kid, you know. So you got all of that going. But, yeah, you can do it. There's not an age limit. Now, when should you start? You should start your Roth IRA when you're on baby step 4. And that means you have yourself out of debt and you have an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. And that's if you're an adult. If you're 16 years old, then you got other issues. But there's no age limit on the Roth. Now, getting the money into mutual funds, you'd have to run it through your parents if you're not yet 21. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Thank you for joining us, America, giving you the same financial advice your grandmother would, only we keep our teeth in. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. You know, when I started saying that all those years ago, I never thought about being a grandpa, and that I'm married to a grandma now. And so I'm probably going to get in trouble at home one of these days when I say that. Now, I have all my teeth. I've heard it from grandmas all this time. I have all my teeth. I've heard it for years, and I ignored it, but now I may not be able to ignore it when I get home, because I'm going home to Grandma. That's pretty scary stuff right there. Rob is in Louisville, Kentucky. Hey, Rob, how are you?
Doing good, Dave. It's an honor to talk to you.
You too, sir. What's up?
Well, I would like to be talked out of filing bankruptcy.
Okay. I'll try.
Okay. Well, my wife and I have been married for 7 years. She has recently moved out of the house after a tumultuous year last year. I won't get into that, but I am a father of a 5-year-old with her. I'm the primary parent because she works third shift. She's moved out, got her own place, I said, but I can no longer afford the house we live in, and frankly, I want out of it. There are several problems with it. Septic, I need that fixed. That's going to cost $5,000 to $7,000. Heating and air, anywhere from $5,000 to $7,000. And we have a judgment lien on the house itself.
For something else?
Yeah, it was a credit card.
How much?
I think it's about $3,500.
Okay, and how much do you owe on the home?
Right at $92,000.
Okay, and what's the house worth?
House is probably worth $98,000.
Okay, have you got it on the market?
I do not.
Why?
But I because I've been dragging my feet.
Okay.
For one thing, I have not contacted my mortgager in the past couple of months now.
Are you behind?
I am behind.
How many months?
About 3 now.
Okay. You need to get the house on the market. You need to get the house on the market, get it up for sale this week.
Okay.
It's not going to bring enough to pay everyone involved. It's going to require a short sale, but you get an offer on it with a good realtor that knows how to do a short sale. They take it to the mortgage company, who's going to have to discount this mortgage ever so slightly in order to get this out, get this deal done, and keep them from getting it back. What type of mortgage is it? FHA, VA, or conventional?
It is an FHA.
Okay.
And it's through Wells Fargo, your favorite company.
Yeah, they're hard to work with, but they can be dealt with. They're just a pain in the butt.
Right. Now, they have given me these options for a repayment plan, loan modification, which we are already in a loan modification for a couple of years, and I understand they don't even...
How much do you... What's your take-home pay?
My take-home pay is roughly $1,100 every 2 weeks. So,
and how much is the house payment?
House payment, under our loan modification, it was affordable. It was about $630 a month. But since we've been in modification for so long, that price has ballooned up to $745, my original. Mm-hmm. A couple of years ago, I had a better job, and I was able to make payments. Of course, things happen. I lost my job and kind of fluttered around. Now I found I've another decent job, but it doesn't pay as much as what I had 7 years ago when I got the house.
Okay. Well, what I would do is live there until they take it, and I would continue to try to sell it until they take it, and sell it on a short sale, and it keeps you from being foreclosed on. It helps you avoid a foreclosure. It also gives you a place to live that you're not having to put out cash for right now, and instead you pay yourself rent very heavily. Save every dollar you can into a pile, because you're going to need to make a move, and you're going to have the money to make the move, put up a deposit. You may have to pay a few months' rent in advance because you're going to have damaged credit.
Right. Yeah.
And
I'm on baby step 1, and right now I've saved up $500, and I'm pushing more into it each paycheck now.
How much other debt have you got?
I got combined between my wife and I is $36,000, mostly in credit cards.
Mm-hmm. And how much of that is in your name exclusively?
Oh, probably at least 32.
Okay. And the other 4 is in her name exclusively, or both your names?
No, that would be the both of us.
Okay. So you got $36,000 in credit card debt. Okay.
That and some other stuff. Replacement windows was pretty much is what got the whole thing started.
Yeah. You can file. You have replacement windows that you have a debt on?
Yeah.
Is that on credit cards?
That was on, it was like
Is that in that $36,000?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was asking. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're not bankrupt. You're going through really tough marriage times, and you've been through a really tough career time, and so, you're scared and you're beat up, and, your emotional gas tank is somewhat empty, which would make you human with all the crap you've been through in the last 2 years?
Right. It seems like everything else is good except my marriage, and well,
but then it was your career before and your marriage,
right.
And now it's not. Now your finances aren't good, so no, you got a lot of things that aren't good. Does it mean you can't overcome them? No, you can overcome them for sure. This is very doable, because I have a feeling you used to make in excess of 60. Did you?
No, most I'd made was about $45,000 in 1 year.
Okay.
I've had to pay child support on my 2 girls from a previous marriage, and that takes out about $5,000 to $6,000 a year plus medical expenses, which I split with my ex-wife.
Well, bankruptcy would only affect your credit cards, and you could hand them the keys on the house, but we're going to hand them the keys on the house anyway.
Right.
So the only thing you're filing bankruptcy on is the credit cards, and you can work through those and settle them, and she's going to end up saddled with part of that in the divorce anyway.
Right. I did, a couple of years ago after my first divorce, I had a debt of roughly $32,000, which I paid back. It took me about 5 years, but I did it through a credit counselor. And
well, I think you can do this, and you'll probably do it quicker than that, is my guess.
Yeah.
I would suspect you'll do this a lot faster than 5 years. But the house is gone. It's just a matter whether it sells or whether they take it. The good news is on an FHA, they will not chase you for the deficit after a foreclosure. So all you're going to have is just a foreclosure on your record.
Right.
That's all.
Okay.
And you're going to be renting for a while after the house is gone. And you're going to be renting for a while after the house is gone anyway, because you're selling the house on a short sale, which is damaging to your credit as well. It doesn't matter. You're already 2 or 3 months behind, so your credit's already starting to get fried up. So what I would tell you is this. I'm going to ride this horse until it dies. And, the old saying is, when the horse is dead, dismount, right?
Right.
And so when they make you move because you sold it or they took it, then move. And by then you should have some cash piled up. Make your move into the cheapest apartment you can get in that's safe for you and the kid, and then let's start attacking these credit cards and working your way through it. And, of course, again, as part of the divorce, usually she's going to be assigned some of that debt. That's typical anyway. And so, that let's just say she got half of it. Then you only got $18,000. By then you're behind on the credit cards a good bit. You settle with them for half of that, so $9,000 may clear up this whole deal. But it's more about just the emotional gas tank. You're just out of steam, man. I don't blame you. I'm not picking on you. I'm on your team. I'll help you. So I think you can make it, but I think you're going to have to get on the phone today and no dragging your feet, and go on that line at DaveRamsey.com and get one of our endorsed local providers for real estate to jump over there, one of these top-notch realtors to jump over there and help you get this thing sold right quick. It's going to be very, very important to do that. And, of course, she's on the mortgage in the house, so she'll have to sign it as well. But it's obviously in her best interest to do that, to keep her from having a foreclosure on her. So get it listed, get it sold as fast as you possibly can. That's my suggestion. No, you're not bankrupt. Not even close. Bankruptcy doesn't do hardly anything for you. That puts this hour of the Dave Ramsey Show in the books. Our thanks to James Childs, our producer. Blake Thompson's our executive producer. Kelly Daniel is our associate producer and phone screener. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host, and we'll be back.
Hey guys, it's James Childs, producer of The Dave Ramsey Show. In this hour, the show is over. But we have big news. You can now find us on Sirius XM. For channel information and times, go to daveramsey.com.
Hey guys, this is Dave Ramsey reminding you to catch The Dave Ramsey Show live on our YouTube channel weekdays